Rise above fear. The story of Kamosis. Did you know that over 3,000 years ago, one man stood against what seemed like an unstoppable force? He didn't just fight an invading army. He fought something far more powerful. He fought fear itself. This is the story of Kamosis, the Pharaoh of Egypt, who didn't just reclaim his land. He reclaimed his people's spirit. And maybe, just maybe, his journey can help you reclaim yours. Let me ask you something. What's holding you back right now? Is it the fear of failing? The weight of doubt? Or that voice inside your head whispering, "You're not good enough"? Hold that thought, because by the end of this story, you'll understand one truth. The things you're running from aren't out there. They're within you. And like Kamosis, you have the power to face them. In 1573 BC, Egypt was divided. The northern part of the kingdom, Lower Egypt, had been under the control of the Hyksos, a foreign power, for over a century. They ruled with advanced weaponry, fortified cities, and an iron grip that seemed unbreakable. Meanwhile, in the south, Upper Egypt was struggling to survive. Its people had grown used to the idea of living under someone else's rule. Why fight? They thought. This is just the way things are. But then came Kamosis, a young pharaoh with a vision, not just of a united Egypt, but of a free one. Yet, his greatest challenge wasn't the Hyksos army. It was convincing his own people that they could fight back. Kamosis didn't have the numbers. He didn't have the advanced weapons the Hyksos had. What he had was belief. And let me tell you something about belief. It's contagious. When Kamosis spoke, people listened. He reminded them of who they were, descendants of the Nile, heirs to a civilization that had withstood the test of time. He didn't just talk about reclaiming land. He talked about reclaiming dignity, identity, the will to rise, even when everything seemed lost. Now think about your own life. How many times have you convinced yourself that you can't change things? How often have you accepted a situation because it feels too hard to fix? The Hyksos in your life aren't just external challenges. They're the fears, doubts, and insecurities that have built walls around your potential. And every time you back down, those walls grow stronger. Kamosis didn't just charge into battle blindly. He knew the key to winning was strategy. He launched surprise raids, cutting off the Hyksos supplies and weakening their defenses little by little. Victory didn't come overnight. It was a process. A series of small, deliberate actions that turned the tide in his favor. And that's the lesson here. You don't need to conquer everything at once. Start small. Take one step, one decision, one action. Kamosis knew he couldn't defeat the Hyksos if he let fear dictate his choices. And neither can you. Because here's the truth. The things you're running from, they don't disappear when you avoid them. They grow. But when you face them, when you decide to stop running and start fighting, you take away their power. Kamosis' victories didn't just free Egypt. They sparked a transformation. His courage inspired his brother, Ahmose, to finish the fight and drive the Hyksos out of Egypt entirely. But it all started with one man, one decision, one battle to face his inner doubts. You are no different. The battles you're fighting may not be against an invading army, but they're just as real, and the stakes just as high. Ask yourself, what's your Hyksos? What's that thing you've been running from, avoiding, convincing yourself you can't face? Ultimately reclaiming both his land and their spirit. Now imagine this. What if Kamosis had chosen to do nothing? To stay silent? To accept defeat? Egypt's history would have been written very differently. Your life is no different. You are the author of your story. And right now, you have a choice. You can keep running, or you can rise, just like Kamosis did. Because the things you're running from aren't out there. They're inside you. But so is the strength to face them. It's time to stop running. It's time to rise. Look at your past and see everything you have achieved. Remember, victory doesn't happen overnight. It's earned through every small step, every courageous choice, every moment you refuse to give in. Kamosis taught us this. The greatest battles aren't won on the outside. They're won within. And if this story of Kamosis has sparked something within you, if it's reminded you of the strength you hold to overcome your own battles, then imagine what other stories could do for you. Here on Rise Up 04, we uncover powerful lessons from history, stories of resilience, courage, and transformation, all to help you become the best version of yourself. So, if you're ready to take charge of your life, to learn, grow, and rise above your challenges, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications so you never miss another story that could inspire your next breakthrough. ultimately reclaiming both his land and their spirit. Because your journey matters, and we're here to help you every step of the way. Together, let's rise. Your story begins here.